MoviePass's parent company, Helios and Matheson, once traded at $32.20 a share. Thanks to their CEO, it now trades at about 2 cents a share, and that man wants a 5-year extension on his job. Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net and shareholder in Helios and Matheson, and this story is definitely for people who are shareholders. Now, here's the thing. MoviePass has been through a very, very bad year. No one's going to deny that. Even I had to come around and admit, yeah, they're kind of screwed if they don't do some drastic things. And when they said drastic things, I did not think making the service practically unusable. But I did suspect at one point that that would be temporary, that they would eventually come back to a sensible movie subscription plan. And it turns out that that is right for the most part. They have introduced 3 new tiered plans, one of which is still the limited, but the others, which apparently will have no blockout dates or anything like that. That would be good, I think, for subscribers to have that peace of mind that they could use their card when they want to use it. But here's what's also interesting about that. With that announcement, Mitch Lowe came out of hiding and made a big return publicly. And he's even on speaking tours talking about how big companies and big ideas require big risk. He's doing a lot of rounds almost as if there were no problems at all, as if he was working behind the scenes to bring the company back. Now, by the way, in the picture, Mitch Lowe's the one in the center. And he has hired someone to help shape the company. He's just been doing a bunch of things that are good. But one thing that's been very, very bad still is that Ted Farnsworth, a.k.a. Ted Fartsworth, as some of us like to call him, is still a majority holder of Helios and Matheson, which is a majority holder of MoviePass. And this is a guy who continues to want to run MoviePass, even though he has proven to not be a very good leader. This is the guy who decided to drop the price for MoviePass from like $100 a month, which could get you anything, to $10 a month, which, while we loved that, was never going to be sustainable. This is a guy who rejected in-app advertising, still does, by the way. This is a guy who has basically given the middle finger to the theaters he claims to want to work with. This is a man who has lied to shareholders about how much money they had on hand, how much investors they had backed up to help the company survive, and amazingly, he wants to keep his job. I'm not even making that up. I'm actually dumbfounded that I'm making this video. Just look at that headline. I don't always read the headlines. Look, after losing 99% of its value, MoviePass parent company is getting ready to ask shareholders to support its CEO and approve his pay. Wow. That's a headline that makes you go, really? And you learn nothing. So let's look at what this says. And yeah, I know this is a Business Insider article, but it doesn't mean that they're not a legitimate news source. They have a bias, I admit, but they're still legitimate journalists. So here's where we're at. MoviePass parent company has once again scheduled a shareholder meeting, but this time it won't be asking for investors to give it permission to reverse split its stock. Oh yeah, by the way, everyone who had 500,000 shares of stock and then saw it dwindle to 2,500 or whatever the heck it was. Yeah, this Farnsworth did that too. Helios and Matheson Analytics, which bought MoviePass in mid-2017, on Monday notified shareholders that it will be holding its annual meeting on December 27th. The company is asking investors to vote on its directors, approve its chosen auditor, and weigh in on its executives' compensation. Wow. Quote, "Your vote is important whether or not you plan to attend the annual meeting. Please cast your vote as promptly as possible," Stuart Benson, Helios and Matheson's chief financial officer, said in a letter to shareholders. The meeting announced follows a tumultuous year for the company and an abortive attempt by it to hold a separate meeting this fall to approve what would have been its second reverse stock split this year. The company originally scheduled that meeting to be held in mid-October before delaying it twice and ultimately canceling it in face of widespread shareholder opposition to the plan. Yeah, because shareholders don't want to make a bad mistake again. They want to think of a different way to improve things, something that Farnsworth didn't understand. Let's see here. It had hoped to use a reverse split to boost its share price, which, it did at first, but then it dropped again, which has now been mired at about 2 cents for months now. The company faces imminent delisting from the NASDAQ for failing to meet its listing standards. That could make it harder for investors to buy and sell shares and for the company to raise more funds. It will be a standard meeting, but it could still draw sparks. This is where it gets important, by the way. The upcoming meeting, by contrast, has a much more standard agenda, although it could prove every bit as controversial given the company's stock performance over the last year. Helios and Matheson's stock price has fallen more than 99% this year. We have to keep that in mind. Trust me, it's not fun to be an owner of this stock right now. The first thing shareholders will vote on is Helios and Matheson's 5 director candidates. 4 of those candidates, company CEO Ted Farnsworth, Muralakshmi, I don't know how to pronounce that name, who founded the company's former Indian parent entity, Helios and Matheson Information Technology, management consultant Pratap Singh, and Gabrielle Ralberg, the managing director of Gold Edge Capital, have served on its board since 2016. Joseph J. Fried, an attorney who runs his own law firm, is the only new director nominee. Farnsworth and the other person, I don't know how to pronounce that name, in particular, could draw opposition. Farnsworth has served as Helios and Matheson's CEO since January 2017 and spearheaded both its acquisition of MoviePass and its decision to slash the price of MoviePass subscription service to $10 a month. That move caused Helios and Matheson to burn through $321 million in just the first 9 months of this year, an amount it replenished largely through issuing and selling billions of new shares of stock. One of the reasons it was never going up. The company has revised its offering multiple times this year to try to reduce its cash burn. Gadiaram, I'm just going to hope that was close, meanwhile was arrested in India on suspicion of stiffing a creditor and has been accused of fraud there, as Business Insider reported. Helios and Matheson encouraged shareholders to vote for all 5 of its nominees. Not kidding. They're actually want to keep these losers in power. Read this. Mr. Farnsworth's extensive business experience of bankrupting companies, I added that last part, and that's an opinion, I think, who knows, maybe he didn't, led us to conclude that he should serve as a director. Mr. Gadiaram's deep experience in the information technology and data analytics sector gives him an exceptional understanding of our businesses and led us to believe that he should serve as director. I bet it does. Now then, here's some of the benefits that Farnsworth will be getting if we approve this. Shareholders will get their say on pay and advisory up or down vote on executives' compensation. There too, they could express their ire, particularly in regard to Farnsworth pay. Helios and Matheson gave its CEO a total package of $8.9 million last year. That includes $225,000 in salary, $1.35 million in cash bonuses. There's my bad plumbing. Stock awards worth $7.25 million at the time they were granted, and $76,050 in housing expenses. The company hasn't yet awarded the shares underlying the stock award to Farnsworth because they have yet to be approved by shareholders first. But those shares, this is the funniest part, those shares are now worth just $49.50 thanks to a dramatic decline in the company's stock price. Wow, that's amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. Wow, the bad plumbing. I'm not going to edit that out. It's just too much of a hassle. They went from $7.25 million to about $50. He can't even get an Xbox game for that. Well, not a new one anyway. Maybe a Platinum Hits. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Helios and Matheson's paid Benson, its CFO, $235,000, including $200,000 in base salary and $35,500 bonus. It gave Krishnan, its former chief innovation officer, $2.9 million in total pay last year, $2.7 million of which came in the form of a share award. The date of the company's annual meeting is unusually late. Public companies typically hold them soon after releasing their annual reports, which Helios and Matheson published in April, and last year the company held its annual meeting on October 27th. However, the company has held a series of special shareholder meetings this year to authorize the issuance of new shares and to reverse its stock split. So, yeah, that's pretty amazing. Now, let's see here. Who's here? So, okay. We have Ted Farnsworth in there. So, here's my personal opinion, of course. I, of course, intend to vote. And no, I am not going to vote in favor of Farnsworth at all. If I can, I'm voting him out. So too will I vote out the guy who's accused of fraud from India. I'm not even 100% sure if I want to approve the new guy, because if Farnsworth had anything to do with picking him, then that strikes me as a conflict of interest. So here's the thing. If you're a shareholder, and I get the impression a lot of people who watch my channels no longer are, you want to get rid of Farnsworth, you want to try to steer the ship in the right direction, this might be your chance. Vote some of these people out, get new people in. And trust me, I think even the board, there are board members who don't want these people there anymore, and they will vote against them as well. So I'm going to do my part. When I get the email from both websites, because I own stock on E-Trade and Robinhood, I'm voting him out. I'm voting them all out. I don't trust those people. Get someone new in there. It can't be worth. But, of course, as always, I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you agree, disagree? I'd love to know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.